definitely more experience. A hometown player from the Glendale Merlins, Joanna Kitlinski at hooker. Katie Benson and Nicole James as well will be the bookends for the front row. Look for Carly Waters and Katana Howard, some of those new faces, product of Penn State, University of Minnesota, and the Twin City Amazons. Etsy Hugnatau and Gabrielle Contorna lining out at number 15, usually at the fly half spot. We'll move back to fullback.
And Katie, you talked about that U.S. lineup, 92 caps in that starting 15, but only 8 in those numbers 9 through 15. So a lot of inexperience in that back line, but this is what Coach Rob Kane wanted. He wants to develop these players, and they're going against a fierce outfit in this Barbarians team. And just seeing that Barbarians team take the field, back in my day, the one video you always used to watch, I say video because we didn't have any we didn't have anything like that, but you watched the Barbarians versus New Zealand game from 1973, and that Barbarians jersey is so synonymous with so many great years of rugby. It's great to see them gracing this field here at Infinity Park.
As we make ready for the national anthems, you see the next generation of the young players, some girls rugby coming alongside with them. It's been quite a big part of the build-up, is really giving back to the community as well for this match. Here's a little shot. What a great experience, right, to stand right next to some of your heroes.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of the United States of America.
And so many fantastic emotions there as we hear God Save the Queen and the Star-Spangled Banner. We'll get more of a feel for exactly what it's like on the sidelines for this historic contest coming up. So let's head down to Phaedra Knight on the sideline to give us a little bit of what it's like down there.
Hi guys, it's a comfortable 76 degrees with very light winds and a dry terrain. Should be great conditions to employ an effective kicking and fast flowing contest. Now the tenor of each of these teams, quite different I shall add. The U.S. with a bit of intensity and laser focus. However, the Babas, as we saw, with their 697 cumulative caps, have a very laid back demeanor, many smiles on their faces. Back up to you two for a very historic kickoff.
Yes, we certainly couldn't ask for a better day. Absolutely beautiful. Just a slight cloud cover, as you talked about. Phaedra, definitely some good insights to the difference in the levels of experience and how things are going to go. Viz, what are your thoughts?
I also like when Phaedra said, you know, the Barbarians a little more at ease. I asked them 3 things the Barbarians will need to focus on for this match. They said work hard, have fun, do the unexpected. And that's what you expect from a Barbarian squad. And I think we're in for a real treat here tonight. It should be historic, and it should be some fantastic running rugby.
Yeah, absolutely going to be electric play as we take a look here. Amelia Luciano has the honor of the center match official for this contest.
She's late, I guess. Here we go. Okay.
It's a great shot there. Eleanor Snowsill, player from Wales, getting set to get this thing kicked off.
Sure thing.
Okay, I'll take a bit of time.
Yep.
It was wonderful to watch the warm-ups too from both teams. Really just the differences in focus and experience for what this is like as we're about to get underway. Snowsill's kick, nice and high into the air. Great contest, just bounces off the hands of Strasco. And the Babas regain possession. Ball's coming out by Jensen. Emma Jensen from New Zealand. Going forward now, Jensen. Ball on the deck, picked up by Linda Aitunu. Quite a bit of experience rumbling forward. Snowsill looking for an outlet pass, has a nice inside line from Jasmine Joyce, the Olympian. Joyce gets over the line, wastes no time. Try awarded for the Babas. Could not ask for a better start for Barbarian Football Club.
Yeah, Jasmine Joyce, excellent try, well-worked try by the Barbarians. United States players in that back line. We talked about the inexperience. They have to make every one of these tackles to count. Good thundering run right there by the number 8. Aituna, and then 15 just took it from there. It goes through one U.S. tackler and able to dot it down. And just like that, within a minute, already the Barbarians on the board. And I'm sure Kate Zachary, the U.S. skipper, she's got her team in the end goal right now, and I'm sure she's saying we have to make every tackle. We have to trust our tackles. We have to move outside, but we have to make those one-on-one tackles.
A lot of credit to Emma Jensen, who's going to line up this kick. She really moved the ball quickly. Got it out to Rocky Clark. Quite an exceptional career. She's had 137 caps. And Jensen as well, 49 to her credit. Can they extend this lead? Beautiful strike, straight through the uprights. That'll bring it to 7 now. And the USA a bit stunned right away. It really started from that kickoff too. Nice high kick by Snowsill.
Yeah, and on that kickoff, Carmen Farmer, the U.S. player, got her hand on the ball. That's what got it back towards the Barbarian side. And what a thrill it must be for a U.S. player to wear this Barbarians jersey. I know some of the men over the years that have worn that played for the Eagles, so they've all said what a great honor it was.
Cantorna, his kick is high, quite deep. Jensen, get it out to Snowsill. Snowsill to Aitunu.
There's a tackle.
Thundering hit there by Hungatau.
Off your feet.
Off the feet. That was on Nini Persinger, the Oklahoma native. Snowsill will take her time with this kick. Into touch. Easy does it.
Yeah, but what a great tackle that was by Eddie Hungatau. There's the big tackle. Now we're going to see the off the feet coming in. Yep. Easy call for the referee right in front of her.
Very aggressive play to the ball there. Goes to the back pod now for the Babas. Snowsill. Aitunu. Quite a number of strong carries already early on in this half. Farmer brought to ground.
Knocked on.
And the knock on in the contact.
Well-earned knock on that time by the United States. Good defense. See Kate Zachary, one of the last getting up. The skipper of this U.S. side. I love some of the stories how some of these players got involved into rugby. All fantastic athletes found their way on the rugby pitch eventually in this U.S. jersey. It's great to see a lot of room on this right-hand side, but this should be a good idea how long a day it could be for the U.S. in this scrum situation. There you see lots of room on that right-hand side.
Definitely have to set the tone early on for this first shove.
Set.
It's Carly Waters. Penn State grad puts the ball in. Quite a lot of pressure. Nate Serevi, little show and go. She's hammered to ground. Kate Zachary has it now. Gets a couple of extra meters to ground. Rachel Johnson's on it. Waters to Cantorna. Cantorna to Duncan.
Easy defense that time by Allison Miller, the Ireland winger. 47 caps to her credit.
Someone else touched it before you grabbed it.
Just not enough room on that outside channel.
ball was touched there, so they can't go quick on this one now. You get the sense they want to push the pace a bit. Yao Faumasuli. Farmer, no problems with that line out. The USA does well to push him back now. They're getting no go forward. As they break through, Faumasuli now with ball in hand. Jensen gets the ball out to Steph. Teo Hara-Fox. Snowsill looking for an outlet. Much more pressure there from Howard. Just slips through. Is Nelson. The one Scottish player on the team, Farmer, slips it inside to Thornborough. Amanda Thornborough streaking upfield now. Cantorna just gets a hand on her, brings her to ground, and now Snowsill with the ball. Outlet pass. She's driven back. Is Dennison. Rocky Clark is going to move the ball up.
7 roll.
To Alicia Butchers. Clark with ball in hand again. Slip pass back to Farmer. Farmer makes quick work and runs through, but now she's a bit isolated. And Bridges thrums forward. Turnover for the USA. USA have a bit going forward now. Pass was just forward there. Unfortunate miscue for the USA.
That was a good steal initially by the United States. Good defense, good tackles. That's what they have to do against this Barbarian squad. And you know the Barbarians are going to throw the ball all day long, Katie, but that's what they need. They need turnovers like that. And unfortunately for them, it was just that knock-on on the end.
Yep, Mark's there.
But that's the kind of tackles they have to make. They have to make those one-on-one tackles. And Rochelle Clark, we talked about her, 137 caps for England, and she is a big ball carrier out there.
Bind!
Another look at the Barbarians. This time they have the scrum put in.
Tunu picks it up at the back to Jensen, who goes a bit wide with it. And the try scorer, Joyce, gets tied up a bit, gets back to her feet, and gets a couple extra meters out now. Jensen coming in an inside run is Butchers. Tackle the ground now from Howard. A big play for the U.S. Just a little too excited on that one was Nate Serevi, and the penalty is going to go the way of the Barbarian Football Club.
Going straight to floor is the call. The Barbarians, no shot at goal. They're going to score some tries, or they want to go for tries.
That was Howard on that hit there.
Again, losing your feet. Have to do that.
They're good.
Have to stay on your feet. Referee right there.
They quickly move the ball, just a little bit of a handoff now. Look at that back kick off of the heel. But Waters, wasting no time, scoops it up and gets on with business. Quite a little interesting back of the foot type box kick there. And side entry is the call from Luciano.
And 1.
Oh, I love it. How about that? I don't think we've seen that
Mark's
in a long time.
See that
Watch a little
handoff
kick
there?
over the top. Yep. Beautifully done. I've seen John Hinkin do that in a 7th tournament before, but that was many years ago. Haven't seen it.
Yep, on the 5.
A match of this magnitude. And Everett, that was an excellent play by Eleanor Snowsill. The crafty Wells fly half.
As Howard will kick it to touch.
Yeah, it was a great steal by the United States on that ball. It's going to be their line out now outside the 22. So after that missed tackle, the United States has settled down a little bit, Katie.
1 step, please.
Scrum looks pretty solid right now. They're making their tackles. Want to get themselves back in this ball game.
Yeah, getting more in the rhythm for the play now. Go back to Zachary, had a hand on it, but the USA comes up with it now. That's Rachel Johnson, quite a defensive leader for the U.S. to Zachary. Holds on to the ball, thought about going to Kitlinski, but good decision to keep it. Nick James has the ball, errant pass, and Neighbor cleans it up. Serevi takes some time, has support from James. It's a meter or two off of that one now. USA looking to organize. And the pick and go forward is Benson. It's several meters, and Howard now, she'll go to the boot, sees plenty of green space. And now the race is on. Duncan chases it down, but ball goes to touch.
Great touch finder by the United States. Picked up about 40 meters, taking the pressure away from them in their own defensive zone. And that was a strong run by Katie Benson. How many times we've seen that through her college days at Penn State? All-American back in 2014 and 15. Getting a little bit of attention right now. But that was a nice, strong run by her. And how impressive was that?
Hold, please.
5 national championships with at Penn State, 3 national championships at Life West. Continues to rack up the accolades.
Yeah, definitely has a collection of hardware at home somewhere for sure.
Yeah.
The gap wasn't wide enough now
In.
for referee Luciano. And we'll do it one more time. Tomasili on the throw to Farmer. Great line out. Snowsill.
Oh!
Quite a thundering hit by Haungatau. We'll feel that one next week. Johnson gets involved as well too. Baba still in possession. Jensen looking for options. Goes to Clark. Clark to Paula Fitzpatrick. Great Irish back row player. Jensen has it now. Babas clean it out. And Bridges trying to get involved.
No hands.
Hands are away now. Snowsill tries to kick it up. Goes straight in the air. Right to Cantorna. Cantorna to Serevi. Strasko trying to pick it up under a bunch of pressure.
What a hit that was by Haungatau. My goodness, and it was Amanda Thornborough, the Canadian center, 28 caps to her name.
Yes.
She is still feeling the after effects of that blow. Came in from their off direction. And watch this right here. Boom! Just a deep leader. Beautiful hit. But to Thornborough's credit, she did get that ball back to her side.
I don't know how she held on to that one, because seriously, that was like a Mack truck hitting her. Haungatau, part of the Women's Sevens residency program. Just has a rich history in her family of playing rugby as well. U.S. scrum, absorbing the pressure. Itunu picks it up, drops it at the back with Nelson. Keeps possession. Jensen, nice high kick into the space. Cantorna handles it no problem. She'll kick it back. To Jensen. Beautiful kick to the space. She has to collect it. Goes to Itunu. It's been working so far. Why not more of that? Nelson has the ball now. Shoves off the defender. And the Babas on the attack now, looking over the shoulder for plenty of options, and they have it. Miller brought to ground, and Duncan tries to make the steal, but support is there. She does have it now. Quite great effort to get to her feet right away. Babas still have it.
Entry.
Side entry again.
Good desperate defense it was by the United States. A try-saving tackle by Janine Duncan. Coming back from the off wing. Caught her opposite from behind, and that led to that turnover.
Janine Duncan from the Seattle Saracens. Originally from Tennessee. And Howard will kick to touch. Took a deep breath before that one. We'll take a look here at the penalty. Just watch her coming from the side, right in here. Just gets off. Shoulders weren't square on that one. Referee Luciano in good position to make the call. Just skips over the pod there. Now Bridges gets the ball down to ground. Waters to Howard, steps inside. Evades that first defender. And Itunu. Ball is stolen as they roll away. Faumasili, the crafty veteran, has the ball now through several sets of hands all the way out to Joyce. Try score from before. The Olympian keeps it in somehow. Quite a tackle by Neighbor for the U.S.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Jensen will move the ball. Ball is spilled forward. Haungatau has it now. We've seen what she can do defensively, and now in attack has possession.
No advantage.
And Clark, a little bit of loitering off to the side there, but we'll bring it back to the original knock.
Well, Katie, one thing we have seen throughout these first early moments of this match have been some outstanding hitting.
Let's throw it down to Phaedra Knight. What is it like down there? There's just serious, they're bringing the hurt for sure.
Driving flat across.
Coming into this match, guys, the U.S. team assembled about 48 last Saturday with some intense training on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It was a great opportunity for the coaching staff to have all the players in one place, considering the last 3 to 4 months they've been doing more isolated regional training. Now, they were able to go through a lot of the principles that they built out during these regional training and a layer in the tactical and team play strategy that we're seeing here today. Thank you. Back to you.
The Babas just threw that. Took the ball against the head there.
Mark's here, guys.
But we'll bring it back. They'll reset.
Mark's here.
Katie, the Eagles have to get the ball in and out quickly on these scrums because they do not want this Barbarian side to organize at the back of that scrum. That's what happened this last time, and he just blew the U.S. off the ball. They were fortunate where the Eagles that there was a knock-on in that pickup, but they got to get that ball in and out of these scrums a lot quicker.
Yes, you certainly don't want to give any more time for Linda Itunu to set up and make some decisions in the back there. Waters with the ball now, looks for Howard. Passes a little back, but she handles it, driving forward. Good leg drive there. Waters now, get it out. Serevi, Ognatau, trying to get it over to Duncan. Duncan skips one defender, scoops it back inside to Neighbor.
Duncan did well there to get that ball back inside, but it was kind of a wild pass. Neighbor couldn't handle it. And I really like, going back to Phaedra's thought, I really like what Rob Kane is doing. As you see, just again, the Barbarians just using that sideline as another defender. There you see the knock-on by Neighbor. But I like what Rob Kane and Emily Bidwell have been doing with this U.S. women's program. When they have those regional camps, it just gets so many more players to get a shot, to get a look in, and to get these players all on the same page. When they do get together, it's not like starting from scratch. So I really like what they're doing there.
Yeah, definitely more of a 3-month build-up versus the ground zero approach. And you can really see the cohesion is working for the USA here, especially with so many new players.
Oh.
Look at that. Back and forth pass.
Yes, entry. Easy. 7.
So Zachary had that ball, and then Johnson just dropped to her knees there. And the arm went up for the penalty. And Snowsill's going to take her time on this kick.
Rachel Johnson made a really good tackle on that play, but just didn't get back to her feet in time. Lost the footing a little bit. Now the Barbarians back inside the 22-meter line. What if we're going to see another one of those little heel kicks we saw just a moment ago? I'm sure they got more tricks. Talking to Simon Mills. Yep, talking to Simon Mills, the coordinator for the media. Well, maybe we won't see any more heel kicks.
Well, they might be illegal, but it was fun to watch, that's for sure.
Use it!
Absorbing pressure well there is the U.S. The ball skips out. Jensen takes it now. Snowsill cutting back inside. Nelson. She's brought down. Jensen looking again, goes right past Itunu. Straight away to Taylor Fox. Falmasili. Gets a meter or two extra. Jensen again. Quick recycling. Clark.
Knock on, scrum advantage blue.
An advantage to blue. Snowsill just couldn't quite handle that pass. Little miscommunication on that one. Cantorna will put the ball to her foot. And it has a bounce directly into touch. Unfortunate one there. 90-degree
bounce for the U.S. on that one. There's a couple of Barbarians back looking to counterattack, but that ball gets carried straight into touch. And again, that desperate by the Eagles inside their 22-meter line. Yet another good tackle and steal. That's about 3 or 4 with the Barbarians knocking at the door that the United States been able to pilfer and turn it right back the other way.
You get the sense that that bounce really was favorable. Quite an intense back three there for the Babas. Well taken line out. Honeyward to work. Snowsill takes it forward. Intercepted by Neighbor. Just read that like a book perfectly coming forward. Amy Neighbor. Brilliant job of reading exactly where the ball was going to. Quite good field vision, and there was no one stopping her. And the U.S. comes storming back into this contest.
Beautifully read.
Very impressed with the center combination so far. Amy Neighbor, beautiful steal right in the middle of the pitch. Still had 50 meters to go, but here's another look at it. There's the telegraph pass right there. Cut in front, there was the missed pair, and Neighbor just stepped right in front of that ball that was intended for the fullback, Jasmine Joyce. Just like that, the United States going to tie this ball game with a successful conversion right back in it. Again, Katie, you got to credit the defense for this United States team to turn the tide, get them back in position and make plays like that.
Yeah, they certainly have stayed poised. It was within the first couple of minutes that the Babas got on the board, and it's been nothing but a good defensive effort, and all it takes is a little bit of a spark, and Neighbor brought that right away for the Eagles. And Cantorna on the kick. Make short work of that one. And that is the equalizer, Viz. Now 7-7.
Okay, thank you.
And it's great to see so many young people out in the stands watching this women's team, and young rugby players, young female rugby players watching this U.S. team at it, go at it, again against a very experienced Barbarian squad.
And the U.S. with Amy Neighbor bring them something to cheer about, certainly here. Wonderful to see a number of U.S. players as well being named to the Babas. Anastova, Carmen Farmer. This is their home field as well for Glendale. Such a moment for them as we'll get set. Barbarians, Zachary just has enough height to get the ball back. Waters handles it, gets it to Cantorna. Almost forward, Luciano says play on. Waters, trouble getting the ball out. Zarevi moving it very quickly, and Johnson finds a bit of space to work through.
No.
Beautiful work playing the ball again there. As Rocky Clark almost had a hand out, and Waters now moving it very quickly. And Benson rumbling upfield. Waters again, moving the ball quick to Strasco, all the way out to the outside now. With ball in hand is Persinger. Persinger making ground, gets it off. The Neighbor again. Look at this beautiful run. Persinger gets the ball back now. Plenty of space to the outside. And that's the best try ever. So many series of passes back and forth. And Nene Persinger finishes it off for the U.S. Electric Rugby Viz.
That was fantastic try. The support was unbelievable. The timing of the passes was beautiful. The ball kept going in front of the receiver, which is fantastic. And it all started with just using that short side, just using your body right there. And the try scorer, Persinger, she's the one who just made that pass, remember. Neighbor gets involved. There's the offload. Kept in the look at Persinger. She made that pass. She was tackled, got back up, got back into play. And young players, if you're watching, that's how you make a name for yourself. Great try by the U.S.
Screaming at the television in Oklahoma there, just cheering her on. She talks about one of the best things for her ever is going back and representing Broken Arrow, her high school program. Just beautiful stuff there by Persinger. And that's just a well-worked team try, too. So many hands on the ball, makes light work of it. This Cantorna will take a minute. And a tough angle. And that one will be just short.
A little bit short.
Yeah, that was a beautiful try.
The USA Eagles going to the lead. The USA Eagles 12, the Barbarians 7.
Like you talked about when she goes back home, yeah, she started that program. And as you mentioned, her proudest thing in rugby is going back and seeing her team compete for state titles. So fantastic work.
You gotta love the work rate as well, too. As you said, she was involved in several phases before that, stuck with it, and then just beautiful, unselfish play. You gotta love that both locks. Strasco started that one off, and Bridges kept it alive as well, too. Let's go down to Phaedra. You have to tell us a little bit more about what that was like to be pitch side for that beautiful bit of rugby.
Yeah, that continuity was beautiful, and it didn't start just on the field today. Apparently, the U.S. team did a lot of fun games where they had to basically keep the ball in play. So it wasn't all hard-nosed, intense training. They had a little bit of looseness and laughter in their play, and I think that's what you're seeing, the joy of the game come through in these young ladies. Back up to you, Katie and Brian.
I would certainly agree that it looked like Nene Persinger was having more than fun. She was just really an electric display of good skills. But now the Babas come storming back. Itunu, not held in the tackle, gets to her feet right away. Jensen to Clark. smashes into a wall of U.S. defenders. Snowsill shows the ball and gets it out to Joyce.
No, say back.
The lone Olympian in the 7th Circuit for Wales. Itunu again, so vicious when she has ball in hand. Carries it forward several meters. Has plenty of support there. It looks like that set of hands from the U.S. gets on the ball now, and here's a chance to turn it over. Not rolling away is the call.
Boy, Rachel Johnson has been all over the field for this United States team. She's a tackling machine. That's 2 or 3 steals on her part. Wearing that 7 jersey for the United States. Excellent play so far from her. And once again, Katie, another important defensive stand. I mean, just when they need it, when this Barbarians team started to get their dander up a little bit, looked like they're going to do some damage. But then Rachel Johnson comes in once again, makes it devastating play, steals that ball, and just like that, United States right back out near midfield.
Come on. Good there.
One of the best parts about this entire match is you can turn on a dime here as the lineouts all the way to the back. Valmasili, dangerous with ball in hand as well, scoops it up after the miscue on the lineout. Itunu misses that one as well. Advantage to the U.S. on this one for the knock. They waste no time scooping it up. Waters to Bridges. Bridges brought to ground.
No advantage.
There's no advantage gained on that one. We'll bring it back to the scrum off the knock-on.
I really like that heads-up play, too, by Stacey Bridges. She's an experienced player with 36 caps, as you had mentioned, but nice little hold. The Barbarian defense came up so quickly. She did the right thing, hanging onto that ball, not forcing that pass. And again, picked up some big meters. So it's the United States have put in, again, quick in, quick out, get it back to these dangerous center combination. We talked about the lack of caps in this back line, but they're really holding their own right now, 26 minutes into this match.
Bind.
There was a point in time when Stacey Bridges was one of the youngest players at the World Cup in 2010, had been involved with that, and now serves as a coach at Dartmouth as well, bringing all of that knowledge to the next generation of Eagles. Waters to Katana, Howard. Zarevi. Itunu getting involved, wraps her arms around that ball, trying to roll away.
Yeah, can I have it? Can I have it now?
Duncan gaining some extra meters. Not rolling away again is the call.
Captain?
We're going to have a little chat
Two
here.
not
Have a
rolling
listen.
penalties in a row. Just make sure you're getting out quick, okay?
What if we're trying to get out but we're stuck?
Yeah, just try to get out still, okay?
Yeah. And Ref, can you see when we're going down to just cut the
Sure.
Captain's always trying to get the benefit of the doubt with the referee.
Water off.
The United States, a fantastic defense. They're going to kick this one to touch, pick up a few more meters.
Water off.
The lineouts have been a little bit shaky for the United States. We've seen 2 or 3 that have been thrown over the top. They got to clean that up.
As Howard with the deep breaths. He's been great with the boot, getting it down to the line. Just misses this one. Great work keeping it alive. And the Babas streaking upfield now is Joyce. The lone try scorer for Barbarian Football Club. Jensen inside to Farmer. Fitzpatrick with the carry now. Jensen, Snowsill, direct to Butchers. They'll go the opposite direction now. Quite a bunch of pressure there from James. Looks like it's stolen potentially by the U.S. Quick hands getting involved. Strasko is engaged in there. Sarevi tries to skip it over, misses the mark, but Cantorna able to handle the pressure.
There's a break for the United States. High tackle was the call. I think it might have been on the fullback, Jasmine Joyce. Yeah, Sarevi just knocked that ball back. She knew the defense was coming up quickly. So the United States catches a break, and let's see if they can find touch here. Let's take another look at it. Going back, there's the high tackle around the neck. Good call by the referee. The United States now again inside that 22-meter line. Been a much better last 5 minutes of play territorial-wise for this United States team, playing on the Barbarian side of the pitch.
One step, hey.
Sorry, no.
Open up the gap. Open up the gap,
Definitely
guys.
have had better high-quality possession as well, too. Just more opportunities. And That's going to spell good results for the U.S. They keep it up. They can hit the mark on this line out. Kidlinski gets it back to Bridges. Brings it down for the maul. Baba's absorbing the pressure. Now the ball's at the back. Benson has it. Fitzpatrick trying to get her hands in there. Benson having nothing to do with it. She'll go to ground. Now we have a ruck formed. Luciano making the call from the backup. Valmasili.
There's a missed opportunity there for the United States. That ball was playable. You heard the referee. They just had to get that ball back a little bit. Somebody used the foot to drag that ball back. Good work by the Barbarians now inside their own 22 with some good defensive pressure.
Looked like they were willing that one to have the call go their way. Certainly excited about it.
Nice straight drive.
Yeah, it was encouraging seeing Katie Benson at the back of that ball. She is so devastating. When she gets a little bit of open space, she just had the feeling that she was going to break off, maybe take a couple of Barbarians with her.
Put in by Jensen. Ituno, outlet pass all the way. And now ball in hand, dangerous. Skips past one tackle. Ituno going all the way forward there for Miller. Edison Miller now. Ituno has ball in hand again. Getting it through to Dennison, the Aussie. Straight away to Nelson. And now, series of passes to Joyce again, streaking towards the line. She has one, can she get another? Makes a bump off on that one, just caught him short to the line, she gets over. What a try there, she does not give up on it. And that is the second for Jasmine Joyce, the speedster, to finish it up for the Babas. Beautiful stuff, had a mistake earlier, but came back and finished it up to get the second try of the day for Joyce.
Yeah, the problem there for the United States is they didn't recover well from that stolen ball. Barbarians did well. There was too many blue jerseys on this right-hand side when they needed to get some players on the left-hand side. But Joyce, boy, how dangerous she is on open field. Cut back once, goes through another tackle, cuts back on the outside. And again, good effort here. She knows she's still eligible to play that ball with the momentum carrying her forward. And now this Barbarian kick to take the lead. And there it again from the backside. Good pursuit. It was by Nini Persinger, United States try scorer, but Joyce able to dot down. Been a good back and forth game in these first 31 minutes, Katie.
Yeah, Persinger definitely laid out for that tackle, did the best she could, but Joyce just good presence of mind to know exactly where she was just to get over the line. Jensen. Trailing the target with her eyes, and now we'll kick this one just off to the side, so no good. And there's the try scorer, Jasmine Joyce, her second of the day. She just has speed to spare, certainly there.
Yeah, she is very, very dangerous at the back of that Barbarians back line. Now the United States had a good chance to regroup in that end goal area.
And the Babas tie it up for 12 with the second try by Joyce. And the USA definitely putting on a great show here, putting a ton of pressure on, and much more calm, cool, and collected on attack as well. As Cantorna. High kick straight away. They'll look to move the ball quickly. Butchers wasting no time to get it out to Snow, so Ituno moving the ball quickly to the hands of Fitzpatrick, all the way out again to Joyce. Look at this speed here we've seen. She steps across one tackle, moves through another. That's two in a row she's broken. Will anyone catch her? No one will. Joyce makes it look so easy. You have so much to smile about Joyce. All she sees is the try zone all day long. And Joyce, just electric stuff is.
Yeah, I think the Barbarians have figured out the United States backline defense with the centers closing in so quickly, trying to keep that ball from going wide. Watch it right here. They try to cut that down, keeping them inside, but then it goes outside and it creates a 3-on-1. And when you get a dangerous runner like Joyce out there, she's going to elude just about every one-on-one tackle there is and able to skirt back inside and has the pace to outdistance that cover defense. So she is just so much fun to watch. But the United States defense in the back line, they got to be wary of that, because this Barbarian team, they got some smart veteran players. They can spot those weaknesses and that strategy that the United States has.
Jensen makes short work of that conversion. We'll bring it to 19. And visit literally any sport, you get it to whoever has the hot hand, and he just has hot feet, just exceptional speed. She knows, just brimming with confidence as well. She's got the ball in hand. Just watched her break 2 tackles there, just making short work of it.
Yeah, important period here for the United States. 6 minutes left in this half. It'd be nice to see them get on the board, but especially keep this Barbarians team off the board. They can't afford any turnovers. They got to put the pressure on this Barbarian team. You do not want this Barbarian side to get a whole lot of confidence built up. And we saw 2 quick tries by them in a matter of just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
You just love to see from the Babas, they just so quickly move the ball. It's a beautiful continuity, and they get it right away, creating the gaps. And Joyce has just been eating it up. Jensen will go to Butchers. Just brought to ground. Fitzpatrick now finds a gap, looking over the shoulder. She doesn't need the help yet. And Farmer gets it off the Snowsill. She'll take it herself, looking for some help. Gets it wide to Miller. And Miller, Ireland Spinus going upfield now. Gets it all the way over the line. Effort there from Duncan to try to bring her down. It's just a bit short as Allison Miller, the Irish international, on the left wing, has another try for the Barbarian Football Club.
Excellent reply by this Barbarian squad, continuing to just keep the offensive pressure on the U.S. And from our vantage point here, the gap's just too big for the United States defense to close. Great handling right there, and then Miller does well. Just use a little step inside to freeze Duncan just a little bit, and then a nice fend allows her to create that space to dot down for yet another quick try. That's 3 in 5 minutes. And again, the United States just have to cover a little bit more ground. You see those big gaps, and these big fast forwards for the Barbarians are just rumbling right through, and that's creating havoc once it gets out to the back line.
Miller from the Old Belvedere Club in Ireland, 47 caps to her name, multiple Six Nations championships as well. Lines out at both the wing and center position. She looked like both in that play there. And now Jensen. Quite a long kick. And let's, with the score being 24-12, let's go down to Phaedra and talk about exactly what's going to have to happen for the U.S. to get back online here.
Well, Katie, what's really going to happen is that they're going to have these Babas take off those socks, because these ladies are playing from inspiration. Yes. If you notice the socks, they have Correct. One club and one country sock on for the most part. Playing from a place of inspiration, not only to represent their country, but obviously their club. And I think that's a lot taking in to this match, just playing from a place of inspiration. Back up to you two.
You certainly just have to love that, you know, talking about where you come from and your roots. It's what the Babas is all about. And they're just cheering from all across the world in representation of this storied program. Michelle Clark brought down to ground. A lot of physical play here. U.S. is just destroying that ruck, getting a little bit too overexcited right from the edges, unfortunately, there. Ball spilled forward. They're going to play advantage. Itunu, so quick to move the ball to Fitzpatrick, show and go into the gap. Hongnatau gets her hands in the passing lane there, and we will just bring it back to one of those infractions.
The Barbarian players thought it was a U.S. player that knocked that ball back, therefore it would have been play on. But she thought she saw Barbarian knock that ball forward. So the United States might have caught a break there. But again, they're just so quick to strike this Barbarian squad. Nice little solo by Fitzpatrick. The ball skills, I mean, through the years, the women's rugby has just improved so much. And you're seeing a really good display here with some of the world's best in this Barbarian jersey. And still a lot of fight left in this U.S. team. They can get themselves back in this game. Good defense and good offense, that's what it's going to take.
Fitzpatrick, she's just an exceptional player for Ireland, was a part of that just earth-shaking contest where Ireland upset New Zealand in the World Cup previously. She is just an exceptional player, she's done great things. Waters to Katana, Howard, brought to ground. Hungnatau, with ball in hand, drags two, Baba's along with her. Waters to neighbor, Serevi, the ball spilled there.
No advantage from the offside.
Dennison. No advantage on the original offsides there.
9 black.
And that was Jensen.
Looks like the U.S. is going to try to pick up a little bit of territory with a line-out kick.
They've got less than a minute and change into this half. A lot of lessons learned so far from the U.S. As Howard will boot the ball out.
Katana Howard, one of those players that is uncapped, but she's doing pretty well. She plays for the Twin City Amazons. We talked about the athleticism of some of these players. Softball 4 years, basketball 8 years, soccer again 4 years. So again, very talented players.
Unlucky. Scrum to blue, last play. Guys, let's go.
And you hear the call from Luciano. It's going to be the last play. There'll be scrum will be called. Quite the stalwart scrum contest so far we've seen.
Yes, last play.
You talked earlier, Viz, about being able to move the ball quickly. You don't want to give them a lot of time if you're the U.S. And this being the last play, you'd like to close it out on a positive note. The ball picked up by the Babas. Taken against the head now, Itunu. Looking strong as ever. Jensen thinks about the offload, but gets caught up by Strasco. Life University product. Kamasili gets the ball to ground. A lot of pressure coming in late on that ruck. Beautiful evasive step there by Nelson. The Scottish player has one to beat, and Cantorna tries to wrestle her up top. Hungnatau to the rescue, brings her to ground. Try saving tackle there. Butchers gets it nice and wide, all the way out to Miller, who scored earlier. Rolls forward to get an extra meter out of that.
Advantage.
Butchers, and now over the line. Alicia Butchers, a Welsh woman, gets the job done for the Babas at the death here for this first half.
Those are the ones that really hurt just before you go into the sheds at halftime. It looked like the United States were going to keep them at bay, but that was a good decision, shifting that ball out wide. Miller did well keeping the ball alive here.
Back up, guys.
Nice little extra turn. That's going to keep, there you see the United States, they came over. The referee's just about to blow the whistle, let it go. And then Alicia Butchers goes through the neighbor's tackle. And 29-12, and again, those last 4 tries in the last 10 minutes, those are going to be hard to overcome for this U.S. team as they go to the locker. Rob Kame, I'm sure, is going to have some good words. The halftime couldn't have come at a better time, I don't think, for this U.S. squad. Kate Zachary still down there giving instructions, trying to keep the momentum going or turn it around for this United States team.
Brian, they had so much for the first half of this half. They kept it really close, tied 12-12 at some point, and then the Babas just poured it on. And Jensen, who's 2 for 4 today, no good on that one. That'll be 2, 4, 5. As we hear the whistle for the half. Quite a contest so far. Definitely took the scales towards Barbarian Football Club.
Interpretation of out because she got her head right on the ball.
Okay.
That's why I went for her.
Sure.
So what's your rules? So I know. So
Yeah, as she
The
starts
score
to pick
here
it up,
at
that's when it's
halftime,
out. Okay.
29, the Babas
And just stay
ahead
out of
to
that pocket
12
between the
for the
7 and the
USA.
8.
We're going to throw it down to Phaedra. She has Rob Kane here to have a couple of words.
Rob, coming up on your first year anniversary with the U.S. team, you've come in, made an impact, but what are the changes you've seen with this program?
Just a lot more comfortable ball in hand. I think that that second try really showed that, and we're just always learning. We're learning that if you don't complete your tackles and you don't force them to the deck and get them to play with slow ball, that really experienced good teams are going to punish you.
So leading off of that point, what you're going to change going into the second half?
Just really get our spacing in D, make sure that we're completing the tackles, chasing our feet, and trying to slow their ball down without giving away penalties.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Yes. We'll go ahead and take a little bit of a break here. Go back with some highlights from the first half. And welcome back to the halftime here of this brilliant match against the USA Eagles, the Barbarian Football Club, who are up 29 points to 12. It's been a tough first half. Look at this wonderful display here of these young people playing the game. They're just having the time of their lives, Brian.
Well, they got motivated by all those wonderful tries we saw in the first half, and it only took about 30 seconds into that first half for this Barbarian squad to get on the board. And Jasmine Joyce, as she's displayed throughout this first half, what skills she has on the outside. She got the team off to a 7-0 start, but that pickoff right there by Amy Neighbor stepped in front of that pass, still at 50 meters. She outdistances Joyce to tie the ball game up at 7-7. And then the try of the game right here for the United States. Outstanding work. Nini Persinger, she just made that pass. She got right back on her feet. Watch this pass. Who gets it? Amy Neighbors back to Persinger, goes through that tackle. An outstanding try for the United States to make it 12-7 in front at that point. But then Jasmine Joyce kind of took over for the next couple of minutes. Showed her all-around skills, speed, elusiveness, strength in the tackle. And she did it again on this next try. Cutting back inside, cutting back outside. Again, outdistancing the United States defense to put the Barbarians up 19-12 at that point. Two quick tries like that, enough to demoralize a team, and the Barbarians kept up the pressure. They did well recycling possession, You heard Rob Kane say we got to do better on defense. And this is Allison Miller of the Barbarians that dots down in the corner. Nice fend right there, created that space, allowed her to ground that ball. And then the forwards get in the act right here as Alicia Butchers, wearing that 7 jersey, goes through a U.S. forward to make it 29-12 in favor of the Barbarians. Very, very good half of rugby, though. Outstanding tries from both these squads. And you saw the little kids out there really enjoying it. And there's more of that action you talked about. That Raptor, the girls rugby is a growing thing. It's great to see.
And go ahead, stay here. There's going to be more action for the second half. The score 29-12. We'll see what's going to be here, so don't go away. We'll be right back. And welcome back as we continue on to this halftime. Another shot there. Look at how much fun they're having. And certainly the U.S. not having as much fun as the Babas so far, 29 points to 12. We'll take a minute just to analyze a little bit more about what's been going on. But you've got to love the smiling faces here, having a blast playing the game. And here we'll take another look here at this try for the U.S. We've seen so much electric play from the Babas, but this was a little bit more like it for the U.S. It gets started right away. Somebody gets sets of hands. Ninny Persinger, she fends here and then gets Bridges involved. It started off with Strasko as well, the paralocks getting in there. But Ninny Persinger, just beautiful stuff, quite a high bit of work rate and gets over the try line. And Biz, what else do you see here?
Well, the lesson here is you never give up. Once Persinger went down to the floor, you have to get back up and get back into the play, and that's exactly what she did right here. Was there for Neighbors' pass. There was nobody else there. Persinger did a great job getting back in the action. That's what they have to do on defense as well. Once they make that tackle, they got to get back up. And again, the support work. And Neighbors did well, staying up on her feet long enough. Persinger still had a lot of work to do, and she did it, though. That was one of the best tries we've seen here in a long, long time. And you're right, it's kind of like what we expect from a Barbarians team, but we see on the U.S. squad. So, outstanding try.
And we're going to go ahead and go to break here now and get set. So much more action for the second half coming. Stay tuned.
Here with Anna Richards, a legendary coach and player. Anna, This is a very historical moment for you, obviously. First time the Babas have played an international match. You've got some classy players. What does it mean to you in this moment?
Right, it's a continuing rugby story of having fun, meeting really good friends, new friends, and I'm lucky enough to be involved with a wonderful organisation like the Barbars. So I've said to a lot of people this week that it's just been amazing.
Well, you opened up the floodgates at the end of the first half. What's it going to take to continue that momentum for the next 40 minutes?
Well, some of the girls are saying they lost the lung out there, so hopefully they can inflate that lung and last to the end of the game. But they're enjoying it. I've just told them just to have a go, and if they drop it, just have another go.
Thank you. You heard it there, folks. Thank you.
And welcome back to the second half of this moment in history, this contest for the U.S. Eagles against the Babas. If you're just tuning in, the Babas have the edge 29-12, and they waste no time getting started right away. There's an errant pass. Snowsill has it. Blocked down right back into the hands of Snowsill by Johnson, defense leader for the U.S. Snowsill somehow comes away with it. The Babas still have it. Jensen will move the ball wide to Dennison. The lone Aussie on the squad. Snowsill digs it out to Rocky Clark. Hit by a wall with Bridges and Zachary from the U.S. Bridges gets up a bit high but drags her down now. And they'll kick all the way to touch. Just bounces. Just what the Babas are looking for.
Nice little touch finder, nice pickup on that kick. But better tackling and better spacing. You heard Rob Kane at the end of that half. They need to space themselves better on defense. We talked about that on a couple of the tries that the Babas scored in the first half. And so far in these early moments, it looks great. They just got to do it when they're tired, when they've been playing a little bit. They got to continue to keep that space across the field.
Yeah, a lot of his comments were directed towards the defense, really about just making those one-on-one tackles. You've got to just dig deep and stick them. Bridges, line out comes down. Here comes the maul. Fitzpatrick digging in there, always getting involved. From Waters to Howard. Hongnatau steps one defender and gets the ball to ground. Gets it back to Waters quickly. Cantorna shifted in. Has no space on the outside, but manages to keep it in. Waters moves it quickly to Howard. Howard, show and go. Bumps one tackle, gets to ground. Has just enough to get it up to Waters, who's in a bit of trouble, slightly isolated.
Here's a forward pass.
Four stole that ball off the deck after the ruck.
I think before that, a little bit of a forward pass it was by Katana Howard. I like it though. She tried to keep the ball moving. I think we're going to see a look at the little flick back inside. Here it is.
Mark's here.
Good call. I think she got a little help from her AR. It's going to come back for a Barbarians put it on this scrum. You see Rachel Johnson wearing that 7 jersey. She had a strong first half, good defensively.
I agree, Viz. I like the idea of keeping the ball moving, because really, when the U.S. plays fast, when they really have some good continuity, keeping the ball moving, we see some great things from the Persinger try in the first half. If we can see more of that, it's good thinking about how we're just a little bit forward. And that's how we got here to the scrum.
Just this side, that side was
There's
fine.
been some moments of brilliance by this United States team in the first 42 minutes of this ball game, but then they just took those lapses. They rested a little bit on defense. And that's what's let them down those last 10 minutes and a half. They've got to keep going all the way to this final whistle.
Those small mistakes certainly a bit unforgiving against a team with 600 plus caps amongst them. So much experience, and they will make you pay if you take 1 minute off from their focus. Now Babas cut back inside, hammered. Thornborough.
Penalty advantage offside.
Itunu again making short work of Johnson, who finally brings her down. Joyce, the hat trick, 3 tries already. Hung Natao gets to her feet right away and tries to get over.
No advantage.
Great defensive play. Referee is bringing it back for that offside that was called earlier.
Yep, here.
Take another look at it here.
Looks like Kate Zachary stepped up just a little bit too quickly.
Just a little over-eager to get up there in the face defensively. Snowsill kicks the ball downfield. Now dangerous territory here for the U.S. They've got to hold him out. Play some stalwart defense.
One of the featured players in this lineout has been Carmen Farmer, the United States player in this Barbarian team.
Across the tunnel, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Alpha Masili getting set for the throw, nominated for the World Player of the Year 2018.
Oh.
And that ball right back inside. Steph Teohara Fox makes it look simple and easy. Quite a nice little trick play. And Fitzpatrick does the same. The offload pass to Nelson. She's brought down by Cantorna. Struggles to get away. Falmasili now sees the line.
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
Hammering tackle there by Zachary.
Not rolling.
Sacrifices her body there to keep it out. And the penalty is not rolling away.
Falmasili and Ituna so prevalent.
Jensen to Teohara Fox. Held up. Cantorna again getting involved defensively. Dogged effort there. Snowsill crashing into Falmasili again. You get the sense she wants to get over the line. So close the Babas are. Are they going to do it? Bridges engaging defensively. Jensen, Teohara Fox, and over the line almost. Butchers looks like she lost it in the tackle.
Almost.
And that knock-on called. Fortune favors the U.S. on this one.
Well, it certainly does. They needed that too. Butchers was looking for her second try in a matter of about 6 minutes. But another good defensive tackle by this United States squad. It's starting to get some reserves coming in. Looks like Nick James has come off, one of the scrum leaders for this U.S. team. And coming on wearing that 17 jersey, Hope Rogers. 4 collegiate national championships at Penn State, 25 caps. She's one of those players, Katie, that Coach Rob Kane said, veteran player coming back in the fold a little bit. So it's great to see Hope Rogers and others like her coming back in this U.S. squad.
One of the best things about Rogers is really just inspiring other players to think about opportunities to play 15s, 7s, really just kind of changing up the way we view, the way we can get involved. And she definitely will bring quite a spark. But great effort there by James all day, holding on. There's a tough scrum. The penalty is called, boring in against the Barbarians.
Back 10.
So illegal scrummaging there. And the tight head thinking about making that substitution. How they wanted to take advantage, just got a little too excited and enthusiastic, and that'll cost them the penalty.
Yeah, that was Teohara Fox that got dinged for that penalty. It looked like they were going to do some damage, steal that ball, possibly try to work it in for another try. Talked about the young fans here at Infinity Park. Don't get a whole lot younger than that.
Hold.
Fortunate for the U.S.
We need a gap.
Hope Rogers has been around quite a bit.
On the line, please, White.
Handles it with no problem and draws the penalty.
One more step. Good there. Thank you.
And Emily Bidwell.
Just keep the tunnel.
With the U.S. program, general manager of this women's program.
Kidlinski hits the mark to Zachary. The U.S. will bring it down and try to drive them all again. Quite a bit of resistance from the Babas. Now it's starting to drive forward. Rogers breaks off, fights through a couple of tackles. Shoves off by Tunu. You don't see that often. And Waters has it. Rogers manufactured about 10 extra meters. Howard bobbles the ball a bit.
Just knocked here.
And the knock-on was called.
Yeah, unfortunately, all that momentum gained from that splendid run by Hope Rogers kind of spoiled with that spilt pass.
Scrum here. Mark's back
Okay,
here.
that's what we're talking about. You know, some of the great play that we've seen from the U.S. squad. Some good hard runs, some great tackles, some outstanding pancake-type tackles that have turned the momentum, but then you get the little knock-ons like that that gives this Barbarians team the opportunity to do more damage.
They always talk about the U.S. squads being just very athletic and physical and aggressive. We've seen great things from Johnson as well as Kate Zachary. And Hung Natao, she is an absolute hitter, just lays people out. It's fun to watch. And now a nice little drive from the U.S. just gets it, but Jensen takes it with a little grubber kick forward with Persinger. Beautiful try scorer from earlier, handles it without a problem. Waters to Serevi, to Rogers. Solid hit, and she somehow bounces off of it, gains a meter or two. Skroskro in to help. Howard.
Did someone see that?
Just skips through and finds a little bit of space to work with and has supporting Cantorna, who tries to loop it over to Neighbor, but misses the mark. And Duncan scoops it up. Cantorna now to Waters. Waters to Howard. She has a look, but keeps it. Runs into Aitunu. Ball to the deck now.
Penalty advantage.
And the penalty advantage will be called. They're offsides. And the U.S. will have another breath at it. Waters thought about going quick for a second and will reevaluate.
Get 10.
Kate, I've been pretty impressed with the way Katana Howard has marshaled the troops from that number 10 position. Again, one of the uncapped backline players in this U.S. squad, but we've seen her a nice little show and go right there. Picked her moment, which you love when you fly half. She's a little bit open territory, and she's had a couple of good hard runs up against this Barbarian defense. Great to see.
Yeah, certainly one of the younger, newer faces on the squad here, and has just come into her own recently. Attended the University of Minnesota, and a proud member of the Twin City Amazons. She's played quite a bit of sevens as well, too. You can see she really likes to play with ball in hand. Has definitely hung it against some of the world's best here in this contest.
That's out.
Serevi picks it at the base, show and go, gets right past Aitunu, not having it, brings her down to ground. Waters gets it out. And Howard just kicks it into touch. Maybe would want that one back.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that decision right there for the United States. The Barbarians had that pretty well defensed. It's tough when you have not a whole lot of territory. I thought the Barbarians had that ball pretty well guarded on that outside. They're still going to have the pressure on this Barbarian squad, but they got to take advantage of it here on this defense. As you see Sareve come out in that number 8 jersey. Let's see who's going to take her place. It looks like Jocelyn Talfa has come in wearing the 20 jersey for the U.S.
Close contest on this line out here. A high kick right at the base to relieve pressure. Cantorna scoops it up. Good communication in the back three there. Gets it out to Neighbor, who steps one tackle, but the pass just misses the mark. Persinger, tough one there because she had plenty of space to work with, Viz.
Yeah, that was the disappointing thing. We saw a lot of ground here from our vantage point. There was a lot of open space, and we saw how fast Persinger is with ball at hand. I think she could have done a lot of damage if that ball was in front of her, well within her catching range.
If that pass hits the target, she's just straight shot all the way through to the try zone. Would have had her second of the day. Ball high, line out, taking no problem. Snowsill to Itunu. We've seen it over and over in this contest, and it is still working well for the Babas. And they take a bit of a minute. Babas don't like what they see. Not rolling away is the call. They willed that one to happen there. Luciano agrees. Score still set at 29-12. The Babas in the lead. Snowsill will kick it to touch. Quite a lot of leg on that one.
And it's those last 10 minutes of that first half as we're approaching 15 minutes in here in this half. The United States, good defense so far. They've got to keep their shape, though, with this Barbarian squad. The Barbarians, they've been really good with the line out in this match so far.
Vasily goes short to Farmer. U.S. tries to get over, almost had a hand on it. The Babas support was just in time and slips through a Snowsill. Tackle made there. Excellent effort by Joycelyn Taufa. Reserve coming in, almost had it. Jensen. Thornborough scooped it up and now has it. Hugnatau intercepted the ball now, and Zachary off to the races for the U.S. Neighbor trying to keep the ball moving. Cantorna, quick little flick pass all the way to the outside. Now the U.S. moving with a bit of space and pace. Cantorna in on it.
In touch.
And the ball in touch.
Would love to have seen them carry that ball in the middle, in the field of play.
Real quick.
They had a little bit of momentum there. Good, strong run on the outside. But that was much better defense again by the United States. The spacing was there, the tackles were there, and the support play was very good.
Let's go ahead and go down to Phaedra Knight one more time.
Yes, guys, number 5, Delina Dennison of the Babas, playing for much more than pride today. Earlier this week, her mother suffered an aneurysm, and instead of packing it up and taking it back to New Zealand, she chose to stay here with her new Barbarian sisters and play for her mom today. So inspiring.
Dennison absolutely has been playing her heart out so far in this match, making a big impact, doing a lot of the dirty work. And the Babas trying to control this line out here under a lot of pressure by the U.S. Finally, ball goes to deck, and it's scooped up. Snowsill floats that pass up and is caught just amount of time. Blue being asked to roll away. Snowsill again, show and go, cuts back the other way, and Taufa's in on the tackle for the U.S.
She's not supporting her body right.
A little bit unhappy with that call, but we'll take it that way. And ball 2.
And Katie, more good work by the United States defensively. The Barbarians are trying to do a lot of misdirection, especially off the base of those rucks. But the United States have those channels covered beautifully, and they're putting the pressure right back on this Barbarian squad.
Cantorna will clear the ball out. An opportunity for the U.S. to take a breath here, reset.
Defense here.
Jojo Kitlinski.
Time's off.
Setting up the lineup.
Sub. Black 1, yep, and 11.
And more substitutions coming in. And Rocky
11 on
Clark
this side or that side?
is going to sub out. She's had quite a day. 137 caps is the Wasp player, the most capped player. And she's going to take a seat. And coming in now will be Heather Kerr, a younger England replacement as well. And a few more reserves take the field as well, too.
It looks like Katie Mason in the 23 jersey for the Barbarians has come on for Allison Miller, one of the try scorers for this Barbarians team.
No scoring yet so far in this half, still holding steady at 29-12. Itunu, but the ball bounces off a tackle. Driving forward a couple extra meters, Jensen gets it out to Snowsill. Quick pass, as we've seen all day, to Nelson. Nelson's brought down. Thundering tackle there. Snowsill show and go again. Johnson bites on it. All the way out there. Thornborough getting involved that time.
Good defense again by the United States. That led to that turnover.
You're subbing off. Go ahead.
Really good crowd watching this match, enjoying it. Also going to be staying tuned for the Glendale Raptors versus New York MLR game following this match. So a great doubleheader here at Infinity Park. Got to be pretty impressed. Yeah, pretty impressed here by the play, and it has gotten a little windy out here. We've had to take a couple of cameras down, so the high shot you're not going to see too much, but hopefully you're going to enjoy the rugby up close and personal, just like we see it here.
A great angle to check out that scrum there. Ashley Burrs, who's checked into the game. Steph Teohera Fox chasing that one down.
Is there a knock on here first before it was
a lot of work from the tight head prop there.
No. Okay.
Jensen.
Good driving tackle by the United States. They used that sideline into touch this time as a defensive weapon.
Line out. Just over the top again, misses the mark for the U.S.
Yeah, that has been one area that the United States have failed in today's game. That's about the 8th or 9th one. It seems like it's been overthrown. The timing's just off, or just off a bit, or the throw is off, but it's just not working for the United States.
They've chosen to go to the back pod several times
Guys, the mark's on the 15,
both sides.
Just a couple steps out.
And there have been quite a number of really staunch drives, bringing it down into the ball. Tough stuff from both sides.
Bendy, eyes up, crouch! Bind!
And the Babas
Set!
on the put in. A lot of pressure being absorbed there. The U.S. giving a good shove. They've got them on the march moving backwards. Tough stuff for them to handle. Burge picks it up. Has the ball in hand now. Great little bit of a run and a chase down by Jasmine Joyce. Saved a certain try. Taufa still has it. Possession to the U.S. still. Strasco gets it to Benson. A nice little slip pass forward. Gets several extra meters. She's driven down to the ground now. Cantorna sees a gap. And she's well handled by Delana Dennison, as you say, playing inspired rugby. In the name of her family member, and now Bridges. A beautiful pass wide all the way. Hong Natao gets it all the way out to Bulo. Matatonga coming up and over the line is Duncan. Almost to the line they are. Some heroic stuff defensively for the Babas. Right on the line. Can the U.S. get it over? Burge to Bridges. Fake run all the way through. And it's intercepted. Teohera Fox picked that pass up.
Referee had the penalty advantage for the Barbarians not rolling away, so the United States with this penalty 5 meters out.
Zachary on the quick tap and go to Rogers. She's well handled. Driven back now. U.S. still has possession. Taufa will pick it up. She sees a little bit of a seam. Can she get through? Needs some extra support. Benson at the base as well. She'll gather it up. Trying to go forward, gains 1 meter. A crucial one at that. Burge will get it all the way out. Gilinski has the ball in hand now. Thinks about it twice. Goes forward. Burge gets it again. Hong Natao trying to get over the line. Can she do it? She's right there. Can she strip it over? Try awarded. Eti Hong Natao has a presence of mind to turn over and just get the ball to ground. There's an absolute battering ram to get over that line. And great presence of mind to finish the job. Eti Hong Natao, beautiful stuff to finish it for the U.S. It went all the way opposite field. Here she is now. She looks over to her side. Had Matatonga there, but just got over the line and used all the force she had just to flip over and touch it down.
Yeah, I think it was Helen Nelson that tried to keep that ball. Yes, it was the 12 for the Barbarians. But Hong Natao just the strength to wrestle that ball free, able to ground at the referee. Perfect position to allow that grounding. But that was a really important try for the United States team to get themselves back in this contest. Every kick so important, every point.
Lee, can you repeat the last
Trying
bit?
to add the extras here, 29-17. They trail. Gabby Cantorna trying to add the 2. But I like the U.S. regrouping at midway line like they did just when the Barbarians would score tries. Regrouping and say, okay, let's just, this next 10-minute period, let's do what we need to do.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful kick.
Gabby Cantorna has a great strike there, and it is true through. And that brings the score to 29 points to 19 for the U.S. Phaedra, tell us a little bit about what it's like downfield. So waiting to get the report there. And we'll go back to the action as Hannah Stoba is checked in for the Babas. And a nice high kick. Johnson bobbles it back, but it's picked up by Bridges. Burge, outlet to Rogers. He's instrumental in making that try happen. Cantorna. Beautiful strike on that last conversion. She does it all for the U.S. And a high ball, tough to handle. Just gets over the Baba's hands, but now it's in possession to the Barbarian Football Club.
A little bit of obstruction there, I believe, called against the Barbarians. United States trying to chase that ball down. Yes, it was. Good little touch finder. Found the space behind that first line of defense. And now this United States team with the momentum trying to keep it going here is Cantorna trying to pick up a few meters. Coach's corner there. Really impressed with the way this Eagle team has played. Again, it was the last 10 minutes of that first half. It's been a pretty even game other than you take those 10 minutes away. I think there were some tired players, so we're approaching that 25-minute mark here in the second half. But so far, the United States look very, very good. And bringing in another set of fresh legs.
This is when these decisions make a big difference. Coach Rob Kane thinking about one of the things that Coach Anna Richards talked about at the half was really about just inflating the lungs. So the elevation has a lot to say about it. As Alicia Washington gets in for Nicole Strasco. She's played quite well. For the U.S. is Ashley Burge will get the ball wide all the way out to Rogers. You get the sense they're trying to wear out the Babas here. There's plenty of time left on the clock. There's only a 10-point lead. Burge gets a little hit from Valmasili. Just turned her head right when it happened, but she saw it with a peripheral vision. And that call, Zachary wastes no time. Burge has it in hand, gets it all the way out to Duncan. Stays inbounds. Valmasili again. Putting extra pressure at that breakdown. Alicia Washington from New York Rugby Club checked into the match. Made an impact already, and Burge quickly moving the ball. And Benson steps over a tackle for Maitunu, who's been everywhere so far. And the Babas have possession of the ball now. Carmen Farmer. Valmasili gets it all the way out to Katie Morgan. Mason.
Yeah, that was a good defensive effort there, but there was a wonderful defensive play by Hannah Stobel with the Barbarians, the U.S. player. She's going to rip that ball free from Katie Benson. It looked like the big prop was going to do some damage. Both teams getting fresh legs out on the field. Yeah, just back and forth rugby, great to see. That's what you want to see when the Barbarians come to town. They got a big doubleheader coming up at Twickenham on June 2nd. The England men will play the Barbarian men, and the England women will play the Barbarian women. So great doubleheader. Great to see the exposure that this Barbarians women's side is getting around the world.
And a big scrum here as they've completely re-upped. The front row is Valmasili as well as Tehara Fox. They'll take a seat. Two longtime teammates that have been to many World Cups together. Niska pass all the way out to Ete Hangnatau. The try score from earlier, but the U.S. back in march. She steps over a tackle. Matatonga, tough to bring down. Oh, the Berkeley All Blues.
Ashley Burge, she had the right idea, wanted to keep it going to that left-hand side. Unfortunately for her, just a little bit of a knock-on. But that's all it takes to turn possession the other way.
More reserves coming in as Katie Augustine checks in for Jojo Kitlinski. And Ari was, the thought was right there. Good decision. As you saw Stova right on top of her with the pressure. Just took her eyes off of it as she went to scoop it up.
Crouch. Bind. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 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 seconds
The ball being put in. Julia Folk from Canada is checked in for Jensen as well too. And now quick feet from Tova Dirk.
It's still going to be Barbarians' throw because it went off Kate Zachary, but that was a much better defense on that outside with Persinger and the skipper getting off that scrum quickly. It looked like something was on for the Barbarians, but the back row for the United States,
That's fine.
with help from Burge as well, covered that blind side nicely.
Time's off. She's going to be in the way.
Time's off for 1 second. Linda Itunu getting attended to.
Boy, Ituna has had a really good game for this Barbarian squad. He has picked up a lot of the hard meters for the visiting team. Looks like a little bit of a cramp possibly, but some really good play throughout this match by the powerful number 8.
It would be really interesting to see the stats on the number of ball carries for Itunu. She just every single time has ball in hand and very rarely does it get past the game line.
Well, this Barbarian side know they've been in a ball game. They played 2 games other than this. They've had the 19-0 shutout and the 37-0 shutout. And they know this United States team has given them all they can handle so far in this one.
Take a step.
U.S. talked about really how much confidence they gained with the squad that has selected for quite a number of young players, but some wins against England Day and Ireland has brought them to this point. And Itunu, again, ball carrier. She's hit by Jocelyn Taufa. The ball was stolen on that one. Burge had it.
Not rolling away, not releasing the tackle player, and it's going to be the Barbarians with a full arm penalty here to relieve a little bit of pressure. But once again, the defense, Katie, has been the key for this U.S. squad in the second half. The gaps aren't there that were there in those last 10 minutes of the first half. And again, we're closing in on that last 10 minutes of this half, so you can bet that Kate Zachary, who's done a really good job captaining this U.S. team today, you can bet that she's telling his players exactly that.
So the U.S. playing to the strengths here is the Babas. Anna Stola many times has booted the ball down the field in a U.S. jersey. Now for the Babas. Lineouts have been working well. The Barbarians, thanks to Carmen Farmer, who makes short work of this one. She's brought to ground right away. But the ball was stripped out, so now it's still going. Pass back through the hands. But one of the reserve props who came in. Dangerous play there, dragging him down to the ground. That was Bridges. Called for the penalty there. Barbarians taking advantage of this for a breath. They'll reset that line out again, and why not? It's been working beautifully. If they can draw another penalty as well.
Dangerous territory here for the United States. They got to get a hand on this ball, control this steal if they can. Fresh legs coming on for the United States, and number 19, number 18, I think it is, Charlie Jacoby. Is that Katie Benson, I think, coming off in the 1 jersey.
Jacoby, the product Chicago North Shore, represented here. Now the Babas right on the line. They'll move it all the way out. Striking run there. Beautiful stuff by Ellen Nelson. She's been knocking at the door all day. Just gets it out. To Andrea Burke, the Canadian. And the ball's booted to the outside and just gets the touch.
If I was the U.S. right here, I would try a short line-out ball in the front of the line, because every overthrow has been mishandled by the United States, has been picked up by the Barbarians, and you don't want to do it 5 meters from your own line.
Adjustment here. Kit Kat Augustine. Slows it to the back. And that hits the mark with Johnson. And a solid drive from the U.S. Out of our potential for the penalty there. They brought that one down as well, but we'll play on as Burge gets it to Cantorna, to Hungnatau. She's been quite a beautiful bright spot here for the U.S., and here's another one. Matatoga out to Barvilala. And Persinger tries to skip it back inside with a little back pass, and it gets the touch.
Enterprising play for the United States on the shadows of their own line. Just again, that awareness on the line on that outside just needs to be a little bit better. But it looks like it was touched by a Barbarian player. going into a touch. Here's the little flick. Well, here's the flick back inside by Persinger.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I think it was a boot of the Barbarians, but US takes it nicely in this line out as well.
There's crafty work by Hannah Stola to get into that passing lane, trying to go to Guevara Vilala. And now, Hong Natao shoves him off to the side, has some space to work. Can she keep the ball moving? Augustine keeps possession for the U.S. Burge to Jacoby. The U.S. still driving forward. Looks like the ball's wrapped up by the Babas. Can they turn it over? All the way out to Kate Zachary's got room to work with. Space to the outside. Can she get it to Washington, who just overshoots it slightly? And Johnson wastes no time picking the ball up. Couple extra meters now. Cantorna's there in support. Burge to Rogers. Rogers breaks one tackle. Easy as she goes. Ravilala. Full head of steam there. Jacoby and in support. And Burge. Rogers has plenty of room to work. Muscles her way up top. Matatoga now. Striving towards the line is the U.S. almost there. Desperation tackle by the Babas. Out to the outside. Matatoga almost the line. Quite a bit of defense being played here by the Babas. Cantorna, Ravilala, out to Bridges. Back pass back. Zachary has it. Washington all the way out to the outside of the U.S. with some brilliant bit of play there. Is some great work by Nini Persinger, her second of the day. And that with some brilliant heads-up rugby. Saw plenty of space. And that continuous play is what's really been the deciding factor for the U.S. here, who is creeping their way back into this match.
Creeping their way, they're storming their way back in, Katie. 29-24, conversion to follow, but what an unbelievable try again by this United States. Looked like it was caught up right then, but good support again. Get behind the ball carrier, it's so vital. Kate Zachary with a long pass out. She knew she had players open out wide. Nini Persinger gets her second of the day, but that was a very good team try by this United States squad. They went from touchline to touchline, and finally able to dot it down. And Gabby Cantorna trying to add two more here.
You gotta love that, Viz. You just saw Kate Zachary with ball in hand. Her eyes just lit up. She saw that she had plenty of space, and that is the way that you take advantage of an overload. Defense just didn't recycle across the field in enough time. And Persinger, she certainly is a speedster that gets it done. Been very impressed with her in this contest. Cantorna, the attempt to the kick, just floats up in the air and gets over the crossbar. Let's go to Phaedra Knight now for more on what's happening.
Katie and Brian, in light humor, a little bit of post-game shenanigans, whether the U.S. wins, loses, or draws. Rob Kane made a bet with Kelsey Stockert that he would out-eat her of chicken strips at the Black Eyed Pea following this match. That's a quantitative hour-long eat-off. So all you out there that are in the area, you should probably check that out. That'd be funny to see. Back to you guys.
And Kelsey Stockert getting involved. We got to put some money on the line here, or chicken strips with either one. And now, back to play. Rogers storming forward. She keeps her feet moving all the way forward. And an inspired U.S. squad is really working the ball now. Getting it out all the way. Just keeps it in line. And Duncan has had quite a match as well. Zachary. And Babas making some solid tackles. That's a big hit on Cantorna there. Rachel Johnson scoots it over. Jacoby. Moving all the way out. Barvilala to Rogers. And Persinger, the speedster, has it. She's got one to beat. That is a tackle by Joyce. Saved a certain try there. Hope Rogers, and quite a hit from the Babas, sending her back several meters. Jacoby with ball in hand now to Bridges. Looks for that nice offload to Zachary, and Zachary, she's through all the way. Will she be caught? No way, and the U.S. now storming back is the Captain Fantastic, Kate Zachary, to bring the U.S. absolutely to the lead. The 31 points, you cannot ask for more from the U.S. There's a full head of steam going forward for the Eagles. And number 6.
You can't ask for more from Kate Zachary either. She's had a blinder of a game. Her and Rachel Johnson in the back row have been stupendous for this U.S. squad. And the offload finds Kate Zachary, black eye and all, with a head of steam. She told me before the game, say some nice things about her. She did all that on her own. Great work, Kate Zachary.
Nothing needs to be said there, Viz. She just did it all the way. I mean, you saw her coming across the field and the excitement of just the crowd saying there's no one that's going to catch her. That's just taking the team, putting them on your shoulders and getting all the way to the try line. And Cantorna had that beautiful floating kick.
And now the U.S. have to rebound. They gathered at the midway line. They know there's just a couple of minutes left in this match. Trying to add the extras here. There's not going to be a penalty kick attempt anyway, whether she makes it or not. The Barbarians, they're going to want to score a try. Another great kick by Gabby Cantorna.
Stuff. And the U.S. has taken the lead here.
And that forces the Barbarians to score a try. 33-29. Just about a minute and a half left in this contest. The all-important restart here. U.S. needs good communication, good bind, good lift, and a good take.
We've really seen so much positive play from the reserves that have come on for the U.S. They're making an impact here with these fresh legs. There's not a lot of time left on the clock for the Babas. You have to make something happen fast. You get the sense they're looking for Joyce. She's been a big try scorer and a difference maker, and she's through. Joyce again answers the call there for the Barbarian Football Club, and Joyce. So much excitement for the Babas and heartbreak for the U.S.
Yeah, they're rejoicing is right for the Barbarians. Oh, wow, and it all started with that restart. It was Carmen Farmer that took that ball on that high bounce. You see the players congratulating her, number 4. She's the one who secured that possession and got it back to her Barbarian squad. But that Jasmine Joyce, she has been the player of the match. Just so dangerous, and you saw the gaps open. All half, the United States have been closing down those gaps, but it goes outside, and just not enough was the tackle attempt by Jocelyn Tafau. So is that going to give the United States one more chance, or is that going to be it? Wow.
Well, the Babas could not have thought of a more historic way for this to end. Beautiful stuff by Joyce. She just makes it look so effortless on the replay. Just that athleticism, that pass was off the mark. She jumped up in the air, had it, and then just pinned her ears back, saw the space where it was, and she is just so difficult to catch. Tons of speed.
But Katie, so much for Rob Kane and his team to be so proud of today. What a great effort it's been. Even though they fall a point short, I mean, they really put up a fantastic 80-minute effort against this Barbarian squad.
Thank you.
If you were going to put this in the history books, which you are, you couldn't have written a better script. Just beautiful way for it to go. Contest back and forth, and the U.S. never gave up all the way to the end to take the lead. And Joyce put 4 tries on the board.
Katie, the ending could have been different if you're a U.S. fan, but if you're a rugby fan, you marvel at what a great game this was. You're right, some outstanding tries. I mean, some really individual efforts, some great team play, some wonderful tackles. And I tell you, it's really good to see this women's team in the Barbarian kit. I think they're here to stay.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the amazing play we've seen all day. This back and forth action. This was Hong Natao just bowling her way over the line, and here she just strips it through. And Torna Barvilala made a big impact for the USA. Brilliant on attack. And Kate Zachary has the presence of mind to get it out to Nini Persinger, who has so much speed. Cantorna, again, such a great playmaker. Jacoby to Bridges. And this is the one where Kate Zachary storms her way to the try line. No one's going to touch. And then she puts the U.S. ahead here. And this is the heartbreaker for the U.S. So close is Joyce, her 4th try of the day. And Taufa valiantly tries to catch her. But she gets that try. And we have to think about, look right here, the U.S. just appreciating the crowd. Really, it was so exciting at the end, Viz, for both. I mean, this young squad has really just looked some of the history makers in the game in the face and brought them to within a point. You cannot ask for more from the U.S., just shy of a win. And there's brilliant stuff from all the teams. You see former coach Pete Steinberg in the crowd. So proud of so many of these athletes that have come so far. And the next thing up for the U.S., you have to think there'll be so much confidence built from that for the Women's Rugby Super Series. You'll see Canada, England, France, New Zealand, some of the top teams in the country, and that's Coach Rob Kane talks about that. If you want to be the best, you have to play the best, and that's exactly what the U.S. wants to do.
And Katie, we just saw how important this game is. The little girls out in the crowd getting the U.S. Autographs from these players. So that's what this game, that's the importance of this match.
And we'll go down to Phaedra now, talking to Kate Zachary, the captain, for some words.
Here with Kate Zachary, captain of the U.S. Obviously, you have much to be happy for. I know that didn't turn out necessarily the way you wanted, but great second half effort. What was the halftime talk about to get you guys fired up like you did come out in the second half?
Brutal honesty, to be honest. You just have to be honest when you just don't play well. So we talked about a lot at half. You know, we were losing our feet. We weren't wrapping in our tackles. We were having to squeeze too many around tackles. So there's a lot around defense. Our attack was good. Our defense let us down. So it was brutal honesty. Just get your stuff together.
Now you got to tell me, how long did it take for you to perfect that dive, that diving try down there without dropping the ball?
I don't score enough tries, so 1.
Thank you, Kate Zachary. Good luck in the next event. Back up to you guys.
Well, really, Viz, if you're going to score 1 try, it would be that try, that one that brought her team ahead into the dying minutes of this match. And Kate Zachary, you could not ask for more leadership from a captain. Just beautiful stuff. And here we go. We see so many great faces in the crowd and just getting so excited from the U.S. Autographs. How cool is this? Such an opportunity to see some of the greats of the game, history makers, and then the U.S. really just, you know, stamping their ticket into the Women's Rugby Super Series, showing that they are a team to be reckoned with for so many future contests. And we'll take a look at the scoring summary here. It's so close, just down to the wire there. The Babas have just the edge in the tries, as you can see. And there was some beautiful work in conversion kicking for the U.S. Gabby Cantorna, she's just so solid with the boot.
And you're never going to see penalty kicks in this match. I don't think both teams came wanting to play running rugby, and that's exactly what we saw. Just a wonderful, wonderful game of rugby. Very, very happy, very impressed with the way the U.S. played. And again, good fight back by the Barbarians. And they got to be happy that they have Jasmine Joyce on their squad because she was phenomenal.
And now we'll go back to Phaedra in the sidelines in the midst of all of the celebrations.
Is captain for the Babas. You oftentimes look like the Globetrotters out there. Coming out of retirement, what was your preparation like coming into this match?
I guess a lot of us, like for myself, after I retired last year, I pretty much had a break. And got the call up and I had to quickly do a 3-week training session. But these USA girls, man, they blew us away with they're so talented and we didn't take them lightly. And it just shows what a class team they are. But very proud of the Barbars girls.
Excellent performance. Well, I have to ask you this. What role did this little thing play in your victory today?
Well, Barbars, the emblem on our jersey is who we represent today. Even though we're from different countries, from all over the world, we're here together to play for the Barbars, and they have such a long history, and we're so proud to be a part of them.
Thank you. Go celebrate your win. Class act, guys, back to you.
And on the last call, just to check it out, the Babas just edged the U.S. out 34 points to 33. And now, thanks for joining us in Glendale, Colorado, where the Babas defeated the U.S. And that score again one more time, 34 to 33 at Infinity Park in Rugby Town, USA. For Brian Vizard, Phaedra Knight, and our entire crew, I'm Katie Worst saying thanks for watching. Any rebroadcast of the pictures, audio, and accounts from this match are strictly prohibited without express written permission from the City of Glendale, Colorado. This has been a copyrighted broadcast of the City of Glendale, Colorado.